Tolle Road is here with
Road Trip Rich.
And we are the National Museum of the United States Air Force. And we're going to do a little look back on the history of a test pilot you might have heard of called Chuck Yeager. Passed away here just not within the last month, a couple weeks ago. And
I think it was, what, December 7th? Or
December 7th, same to Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. He's got a few planes in here similar to what he flew, and there's actually 4 planes that Mr. Yeager actually flew inside this museum that we're going to check out and do a little info on. We found out when we came in, though, that the museum already did the same thing we're going to do here.
Yep.
Probably a better job. Guess it's our job just to be goofier than them. That's all. That's all I got on them. They're going to have more information. I'll put a link to their YouTube page and that video at the end of this. But first, what we're going to do, this is a P-51D Mustang. Now, what Yeager became a ace in was a P-51B, though, I think is what it Mustang.
That I'm not quite sure of.
World War II, but the Mustang he shot down, well, he was an ace in a day at one point, shot down 5 planes in one day. And Rich, how many, you said he had how many overall?
Oh, shot down?
In World War II?
11 and a half.
11 and a half. So there's a half a plane flying around there somewhere with, I don't know how
half is the assist. He had another pilot assisting.
So it's sort of like basketball. You pass it,
yeah.
You're the point guard, you pass the center. He dunks it, you still get the assist.
So.
Awesome. All right, Rich, we found another plane with some history involved in it. What do you got here?
This is a Bell B-39Q.
Bell
Aero Cobra.
Well, you just told me B and I see P.
Well, I need new glasses, okay?
You're seeing Bravo.
I need new glasses. My eyes are bad.
Yeah, okay.
But this is similar to the one Chuck Yeager learned to fly on. Similar. He learned on an A.
So how did he get started in flying then?
Well, right after high school, he went to the Air Force. He enlisted.
Well, the Army Air
Corps.
Air Corps, yeah.
And he wanted to fly.
Right.
But his age and lack of education, he wasn't able to.
He was a West Virginia boy, is what you're saying.
Well, no, he just.
Come on, no, what's wrong with West Virginia?
No college education.
Right.
And he was underage.
Yeah.
So he became an aircraft mechanic.
Okay.
3 months later, the war started. Everything changed. So he was able to.
And you know why it changed? Hey, we need pilots. We got to lower the
He
requirements
had great eyesight.
Yeah, well, they said, 2010, right?
Yeah.
So just like you, had about your eyesight there.
One eye. That was when I was younger.
Yeah, okay.
But the other eyes, forget it. Yeah. But he was able to get into flight school.
Okay.
He was up flying in one of these, and he clipped a farmer's tree.
Yeah.
And he got suspended for 7 days.
Jeez. Well, come on, you're just clipping trees. I mean, he's doing the farmer a little help, you would think.
Yeah, pruning them.
So they grounded him for 7 days.
Grounded him for 7 days.
And then he moved on to fly some of the other planes, like the Mustang we visited earlier. All right, let's check out some more. The plane we see here is the first MiG-15 that was in possession of the U.S. Air Force. Young gentleman here, a North Korean fighter pilot by the name of, what was it? Lieutenant No, became a U.S. citizen afterward, changed his name to Kenneth Rowe, defected, turned the plane over to the U.S. Air Force, and this plane was eventually test piloted by Chuck Yeager. He sat in that seat you see right there. What do you think about that one there, Rich?
Interesting story. Very interesting.
You think you could hop in and fly that?
No.
No. You can't even fly, you can't even drive a car, Rich.
Oh, come on.
But this is where they gained a lot of information on the MiG-15 and helped the intelligence, and it's a part of helping us win that war. And I think part of what Kenneth Rowe was thinking when he was in North Korea, he could see the future. He didn't want to be in lights out. He was more of a Hyundai, a Kia guy. South Korea is where the money was at. Smart man, smart move.
Well, he didn't even know about the reward for
Yeah,
the plane.
actually, the U.S. sent, it's kind of cool, they got some pamphlets over here that they dropped. If you can see that or not, probably can't read it anyways if you can see it, that they dropped on air bases in North Korea, offering a $100,000 reward to anybody who could deliver one of these. Now, Lieutenant No apparently didn't know about that, but he still surrendered, and they still gave him the $100,000, which probably helped his life when he came over to the U.S. Here is another plane that Chuck Yeager flew, an experimental plane, the X-3. Okay, and some of the differences on this plane than the X-1 and X-2 was that the X-1 and X-2 were flown underneath another plane and dropped and then took off. This is more of a conventional type plane where get your runway, take off.
It actually took off from the ground?
Vroom, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Let's take a little better look at the little small wings we got on this baby. Hey Rich, what do you think about the size of this little wing right here?
It don't even look like a regular wing. It looks like more like a tail wing.
Yeah, I guess the fuselage, they say, is 3 times longer than the wing length on this. Wingspan would be the technical term, I believe. But this plane was designed to go Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. Didn't quite make it, but some of the advances they learned in testing this helped, with the 104 and the SR-71 Blackbird. Right. Some of the technology on this is really advanced, and this is the only one of these in existence right here too.
But
Okay, Rich, this is the engine of this Stiletto that was designed to try to go Mach 2, and you're saying the top speed this thing reached was?
Well, they had problems with it.
Well, what's top speed though?
650.
Quit beating around the bush trying to cover for them. That's well below Mach 2, right?
Well, the engine that was in it,
well
they had to replace
half.
Yeah, but they didn't have the engine they wanted to use. There was engine problems. They had problems with it, so they had to replace the motor with a smaller one, and it just
didn't have enough juice to get it up
to
what they're
like
hoping
650.
to. Which is probably why they only made one of these planes. It didn't quite, the Stiletto didn't quite get what they wanted, although I think it's cool. I mean, it looks like a dart. Yeah.
Well, the plane,
a Stiletto.
It was the motor was the problem, not the
Stupid
plane.
motors. Someone built a better motor. All right, Rich, this is yet another plane Chuck Yeager hopped into.
The XF-92A.
Yeah. And you know what? Different about this plane, it's one of the Delta wing planes. And Delta wings are basically, they kind of look like an A, the triangle shape, and it's named after what the Greek alphabet, the Delta letter, looks like that.
Okay.
Okay, this is yet another plane that Chuck Yeager manned the cockpit of, the Northrop X4 Bantam. And what you'll notice about that plane is there's no tail on it there.
Yep.
semi-tailless, and they tested. There's only 2 of these built. First one only flew 10 flights. This one here's the second one built. Got a few more flights, but they decided that for sonic flights, which is just below the speed of sound, that wasn't stable enough without a tail with the technology they had at the time there. You read a little bit more about the engines there, Rich? What?
Yeah, I do believe it was an XJ30 Westinghouse. They're, what was it? Turbo thrust, 1,600 pounds.
Oh, I'm going to test you on that.
1,600 pounds of thrust for each motor, and there was 2 of them. And it can only maintain a flight for 44 minutes.
So you better go fast if you want to get anywhere then.
Well, I had top speed, I think it was like 650.
Yeah, just below the speed of sound.
And it could only go 44,000 feet up.
That's still pretty high ceiling.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's check out our next one. So what Chuck Yeager is most famous for is the X1A. Unfortunately, closest we get here is X1B. X1A that he flew was the Glamorous Glenn, named after his wife Glennis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That was the first plane to break the speed of sound. And here's the next best thing, X1B. Which, how fast did this baby get up to, Rich?
This has a maximum speed of 1,650 miles per hour.
Oh, that's killing all kind of sounds.
Yep.
There. That's louder. That's faster than that baby scream I hear in the distance. All right. Okay, what we have here is an F-15 Eagle. Now, this particular plane, did Chuck fly it? I don't know. I could lie to you.
Oh, more than likely.
Yeah, he flew this one. He definitely flew this one.
Probably
I saw
did.
him do it. He flew over my house. But anyways, the reason we're talking about this one is at the 50th anniversary of his breaking the speed of sound in 1997, and in 2012, at the 65th anniversary of his breaking the speed of sound, he was co-pilot in an Eagle similar to this, broke the speed of sound again at 89 years old. Now, Rich, you're what, 87, 88? Are you going to be able to do that in another year and a half?
Well, I'm only four or 5 years older than you are, so you're
decades.
We could probably.
Oh, let's break out birth certificates. I got mine on me here.
I don't have one.
They didn't have them back in them days, did they? But this was kind of his way of them, Air Force, celebrating him, letting him get in a plane and break that sound barrier again. And even at the age of 89 and 74 years old, he was still able to do it, still able to enjoy it.
Well, we know of 3 times he broke it. How many? I wonder how many times he actually broke it.
Probably a lot of times he didn't tell people too when he wasn't supposed to. I imagine it's probably thousands of times that he broke the speed of sound. Yeah. So Chuck Yeager is obviously in the Aviation Hall of Fame, inducted in 1973, and the Hall of Fame is located in Dayton, Ohio, in the Air Force Museum, now known the National Museum of the United States Air Force, for his long history. What do you say, he was 30 plus years in the service there?
Well, I think he joined in 41. So if he retired in 75, that'd be what, 34, 35 years?
Yeah, so 33, 34 years in
over 30 years.
Bunch of testing he did. He was also the first man to break double the speed of sound in an X1A. The first flight was in the X1, Glamorous Glenn.
He also trained not pilots, but astronauts.
Yeah, he was really being considered to be an astronaut.
But he didn't have the education. He didn't have no college education. That's why he couldn't do it.
And have you seen the movie The Right Stuff? He was figured very prominently in that.
Right.
Chuck Yeager also has some connections to Dayton. He flew a lot of flights from Wright Field, which is what Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was originally called.
Wasn't he after World War II, he came here, he was stationed here?
His cousin actually was a Major League Baseball player.
Really?
Steve Yeager, who actually went to the same high school as me.
Oh, okay.
So his cousin was the second best athlete to ever go to Dayton Meadowdale High School after yours truly. What are you laughing at?
I'm glad I'm wearing my boots. It's getting deep.
No, I mean, trust me, I've got it. I think that's going to do it, though. And who knows where the toll road will lead to? Well, you're interrupting. I got this whole spiel. You know this bill was coming, but you. Okay, go ahead. What is so important?
We forgot to mention he just passed away.
Well, that's why we're doing this whole thing. We mentioned that at the beginning.
Oh, okay. I was asleep at the wheel again. I'm sorry.
Okay, anyways, on that note, who knows where the toll road will lead to next?
See ya.